Good morning, everyone. This is Teri. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Amethystastrotarot. I'm a practicing astrologer and a tarot reader. So, for your professional requests, you can always contact me on the links on my profile. Having said all, yes, today the full moon in Capricorn will be happening exactly at the 11:16 UK time. Today is 21st of July 2024. I have mentioned the technical points on the slides in a video before, so you may always check when, where, which degrees, etc., and all the cycles related with that. But today I will be talking about more about the interpretation part, and I will skip some parts that I have said before during the full moon in Capricorn in June 2024. Maybe you may recall that there was another full moon in Capricorn in the first degrees of Capricorn, and this time we will have it in the last degrees of Capricorn. Just the recap that, as you know, the full moon may mean completion, sometimes putting an end to some of the things to open place for other useful stuff, which might be more informal, more useful and helpful in our journey ahead or reaching a peak. And it's also worth mentioning that after new moon, this is only halfway. That's why we may need to consider what next in the second half of the journey until the next new moon starts. So, and also it's the moment of finding a balance, at least trying to find the middle way between our emotional world and identity and self-expression. So, one important thing about this full moon is that, as I mentioned in the technical point, both sun and moon in Cancer and Capricorn respectively are with anaretic degree, meaning the last degree of the respective signs. It could be the case that since it's the end of those signs, it's like the last chance before getting out of these signs. There might be a sense of performing the maximum possible, not leaving any opportunity behind. So once they are finished, because there is no return until the next time. So in this regard, the polarity, because they are opposing each other, the sun and the moon, the polarity might be intensified due to this concept of anaretic degree. And another interesting point is that what comes through the decan rulers, which I also pointed out in the technical points, sun is in the third decan, which is the last 10 degrees of the sign of Cancer, which is ruled by moon. That's the decan ruler is moon. And as we know, traditionally, the ruler is moon too. And in this sense, the ruler of Cancer is moon, so the dispositor is moon, and moon is in the, again, last 10 degrees of Capricorn, and in this case the decan ruler is sun. So we may have a moon in Cancer and sun in Capricorn situation as an extra layer in this full moon, and including this decan explanation all. In a way, this full moon might feel like a conversation as follows. As you may have noticed, I'm making these conversations that are going between the moon and the sun as they are on the opposing sides, and then what do they tell each other. So Capricorn moon starting and later handing the word to sun in Cancer. So what does the Capricorn moon say? Don't you see that we are actually on the same thing, on the same boat? It's true that we may have some differences in the way that we express our feelings, in the way we express ourselves. You seem to have an identity more from heart, more from an emotional point, while I try to stay grounded, being realistic, even though it concerns my emotional world, since that's the way I can protect myself. And then the Sun in Cancer says, you have a point. Actually, where we are standing now, getting ready to change our expressions, which pushes us to make a lot of effort to experience these last few days at the maximum. So we can find a middle way, agree on some common ground. What do you say? So I think this could be the conversation that would be possibly going between Capricorn Moon and Cancer Sun. And when we look at the full moon chart, I can say that the Sun and Moon duo, I can share it with you actually, the full moon chart. Let's share it. Okay. Yeah, when we look at the full moon chart, we can see the Sun and Moon duo, yes, are making actually a lot of contact with the rest of the sky. For example, when we look for example, Mars, which is freshly in Gemini, which would be freshly in Gemini, Uranus in Taurus, Neptune in Pisces, also it's anaretic degree, but it's at the moment retrograde. Pluto also retrograde in Aquarius, and Chiron in Aries, and Jupiter in Gemini. It's like full contact with the sky we can see. I believe that on reflecting on some unusual transformations, changes that happened in our life recently might make quite an impact on who we are and what we feel next. And this can be understood from the Pluto's contact with the moon that is hand in hand, which is conjunction moon and opposing sun. And we cannot also deny how our past lessons, learnings, Chiron, ideals, dreams, Neptune, structural changes, which is the Uranus and Taurus, we might be experience may conflict because Chiron is squaring or agree. The other ones are generally in sextile and trine with what we are going through emotionally and existentially in certain areas of our lives. So July's full moon is traditionally called the Bak moon, according to the Farmer's Almanac, due to the fact that the deer antlers are seen around this time of year in North America. That's interesting, and there are other explanations, but I just kept this one from the Farmer's Almanac, which I like to understand and to see why a certain full moon is called in a certain way. So I can say that this full moon may be about finding the balance between our realistic and emotional worlds and take the lead of our lives when we are completing a certain phase and moving forward. We just need to keep the beat, I think. Have a lovely full moon in Capricorn. I will be stopping the sharing, and all the best. See you in other videos. You know that tomorrow Leo season will be starting. So until then, bye bye.